in real life.
Welcome back to another episode of Duel Alliance with myself, Alicia Solomon, and Megan Hines, where we discuss everything the challenge. We are back to discuss the challenge World Championship, episode 2, aka Johnny versus Kellyanne. It was a hot mess mixed in a little bit of smugness from Johnny. We're gonna get into Johnny because Miss Ma'am with the kids, she did a lot. But because Johnny. Okay, now, but yeah, it was just elimination and pretty much it. And then we have Nelson and his news and situation that happened.
Yeah. So we're actually on episode 3. That premiere like kind of messed us up with
Oh,
it being 2 episodes.
I know. Okay, we're on episode 3. Act like I never said episode 2, guys. Episode 3.
It's all good. But just to quickly recap the latter end of episode 2, we know that the group voted for Jody and Benha and Kellyanne and Tristan to be the options to go against Nelson and Hui in the arena. And we left off as well with Kellyanne being very confused on why Johnny was torn on her decision to pit Kellyanne in because they are friends. And we moved into the next scene with Johnny and Wesley's episode talking about her conversation with Kellyanne. And Johnny's called her emotional. And Wes did say Kellyanne is eerily loyal. So Johnny immediately is like, to me, is like, girl, what are you doing?
I mean, I don't know. It's hard for me to really like accept what Johnny did this episode, like fully and truly what she did to Kellyanne, because I'm just like a little I'm thrown off. But I feel like we seen this coming with her. Like this is nothing new. She did it in All Stars 3 with Kellyanne, considerably too. And I feel like since she came back out of season 1 of All Stars and into season 3, she's definitely grown as a player, but she's shown that she is, how you say, gutter snipe.
Yeah.
She's a little undercut, like she's gonna do something shady and then just be like, sorry, it's the game. And I don't know if I really like that gameplay from John A, just because it's just fake.
She's getting mixy too a little bit as well because when she first came back, she was like still bright eyed about the experience. Now that she's been on the show a bit back a little bit more, she's adapted her game and her social game has been elite for her, but she's dealing with the wrong people, and that's not gonna help her in the long run. Which we'll get into it because Kellyanne made a good note later on in this episode about short term deals and situations. So yeah. Um well, that's the next scene actually, because Kellyanne and Tristan had a conversation. um, and she said the legends would rather Jody be the vote, and obviously so confused on Janae's questioning about her decision. Kellyanne says she would not do that to her because they are friends outside of this, mind you. And Kellyanne's just, I'm on Team Kellyanne this whole episode. Everybody I saw, for the most part, was Team Kellyanne this episode because we're like, girl, she did you wrong.
For sure. I feel like Kellyanne was necessary in how she reacted. Now, at times Tristan did try to calm her down, but I was definitely on Kellyanne's side on this fight. Like you couldn't convince me otherwise.
Yeah. Um, And Nelson, after that, advised Hui to weigh her options on who she want to go into elimination against, and gave her a little bit pep talk on that. Benha, who is still fairly new to this as well, said that he knew that him and Jody weren't going into elimination, and Jody's like, "You don't know that exactly," but because of how the temperature of the house was, it wasn't going to be them.
Yeah, I just feel like everyone was shooting for Kellyanne and Tristan because Kellyanne is clearly a threat. Tristan, even though he's not great at puzzles, he can be a threat. And I think that even though no one's thinking about trying to get Argentina out, I think Kellyanne was just the bigger threat to everyone in the house. So when she made her claim during the deliberation, like she's trying to get the strong teams out, everyone got worried and was like, nah, we need to get her out of here before she tries to get us out of here, which I get. But Benha was just so, he was so free. He was like a little hipster. Like, he was just giving like vibes and just, I'm just here and I love everyone and everyone's so personable. And it's just like, bro, this is not the streets, my boy. This is the challenge house. And you can't just go up to everybody and feel like everyone's your friend. You cool with everyone. You want to get to know people. Those people don't want to get to know you. Like they
Yeah.
don't give a shit about you, no matter what they're telling you. They don't care.
Yeah. And his conversation with Bananas later on too was like he was really being positive, and Bananas like, "Yo, you can't be doing that here. Like, the challenge is something that you don't. I don't think this is really for you. If you have a positive outlook on everything, people are gonna take advantage of that."
You gotta be negative. No.
And Kellyanne did talk to Ben about the situation, and she told Ben that people are playing a short-term game, and if she said for her it wasn't a game that was getting to her, because I think people were noticing Kellyanne getting very antsy, and thinking that the game was getting to her at this moment when the game just started. And she said that her friendship with John A was really the thing that was actually kind of hurting her more emotionally. Um, if she said that she comes back, she has free range to act like a psychopath. And I'm like, that is facts. I love unhinged Kellyanne, and when she's in the right and she's unhinged, I'm here for it even more.
Yeah, I mean, a psychopath is a little extreme, but I did understand her feelings towards it because she's been through some sort of version of this with Johnny in the last season that they played with each other. So I get her frustration with Johnny and them being quote unquote friends. And she had all right to be upset with Johnny for sure, because Johnny really just did some snake shit, like for real.
Yeah, because I'm like I said, like last week with the power trip, that because Johnny beat Kellyanne on the first time, like that's something she's holding over her as well. And I'm like, this is steadily shown throughout this whole time too. It is just sad. I'm like, y'all supposed to be friends, like y'all supposed to be helping uplift each other and work together. And I'm like, Johnny, I get you're a winner, but you're not playing like the person you thought you came in this game playing. So
And it's not even she came in that way, because I feel like I don't want to go in on Johnny. I'm gonna just keep it cool. But I would say this about her. She definitely has taken some notes from some people, and she's used that political to her advantage moving forward, especially coming back in All Stars. Because I feel like she's played the challenge plenty of times before, and her first season back, she was just getting adjusted. But I feel like since she's been back, she has used tactics from different people, and that's cool that you picked up some game from other people. However, I feel like when it's thrown back in her face, she tries to act stupid and act like she didn't know what she did. Like, really? I didn't know. Like, like no, you knew what you were doing, and you sitting there acting dumb like you're gonna play in people's face. And when people start coming back at you, now all of a sudden your hands are up and you don't know what happened. You know what I mean? I don't. I just. I
yeah,
can't really. I can't jack that from her.
yeah. And then next we went to Kevin Theo having a conversation with I forgot who it was from Australia,
Rodrigo.
but oh yeah, yeah, right, from
They
Argentina.
were talking to her.
Um,
That conversation pissed me off low key because they were talking to him like if he was deaf. You know, when you're talking to somebody who's like impaired and you're like
mhm.
trying to get your point across. So they were like, we were together at one point, and now we are. And I'm like, the man speaks Spanish and English. He's not deaf. He's not impaired. Like, why y'all talking to him like that?
And he's not elderly, so I'm like, what are y'all talking?
He was
like
really just
it
there
was
smiling and nodding. Like he was like just smiling and nodding. Cause I'm just like, when I don't know, when people do that, it's like Bro, like what you on?
Oh, I don't know, but they're finally talking to each other after not having contact with each other since their breakup. They've both grown up, and he's Theo has learned to shut his mouth. And we'll see if that helps him this time around, like being cordial of her. Um, so that's that on that. So.
I don't know them two UK birds, so next.
And then this is also another X segment with Jordan and Tori, two people that we hate and we need to move on from. Um, um, Jordan says that him and Tori are in a good place following what happened last season on 38. But I will say that Danny did clock how the legends are playing in the games, in the game itself, because he was like that it's more so about people's relationships than the country that they're representing and people that they're paired with, and that's gonna really take over the house because of these legends like relationships like that's fueling how this game is being played.
Yeah, I think seeing them not basically being in these teams with these countries aligned and navigating the relationships, it's going to be interesting, especially for somebody like Danny who has Tori on his team and she's known to play her own game even with her partner. And if she don't know Danny from anywhere, so she doesn't really have a loyalty to Danny, and I feel like she's going to put her own best interest first rather than hers and Danny's. So what Danny may want to do, she's not going to want to do, and vice versa. So they're gonna that's I feel like where they're going to start clashing heads with their partnership, because she doesn't have his best interest and she's clearly made it known she's aligned with Jordan, West, and Casey. So it's like those are three players that two players that Danny may want out because they're going to be a threat to him going forward in the final.
Yeah, and Casey is part of Team USA, but that makes sense for that because they're in teams. But only two people are gonna win this. Like,
Right.
yeah, they can only get you so far.
So
So
it's going to be Tori or Casey.
I don't know. I say it will be. I just will be seated. Obviously, I have to for when Danny has to yell at her because she needs to be yelled at.
Listen, cannot wait to see how this implodes, to be honest, because that girl is annoying.
Yeah, because I'm gonna be waiting for Kiki. I'm like, hey, what's up? What's T? What did he tell you that
Hey,
you
Miss
do?
McCray, come to the stands, please. Come forward. We need to hear your thoughts.
That's gonna be a good week. That's gonna be a funny week. And then Jonna has said she slept on her decision. She had a realization that she does need Kellyanne as an ally in the game and does cherish their friendship. She told Kellyanne, hey, we can work together. And this is where I started to see even more cracks in their friendship. Like, Jonna, are you really trying to be an ally to Kellyanne in this, or are you just trying to just say anything? Because it's giving BS.
I mean, we can just go into the conversation she had with Kellyanne where she squashed it up
Yeah.
and essentially told Kellyanne, like, I want to work with you, I want to be aligned with you, and I don't have any beef with you. Because previously, when she found out it was Kellyanne going into elimination, she pretty much went to Kellyanne and was like, hey, girl, I don't know if I'm going to throw you in. What should I do? And when Kellyanne looked at her crazy, she kind of was just like, I don't, I'm not accepting this. So she slept on it and then ended up going to Kellyanne, telling this woman to her face she's not going to vote her in essentially and that she wants to work with her in the future. And then we get her moonwalking worse than MJ in the 80s. Like it was just ridiculous the way she just backtracked on that.
It was really bad. I'm like, ma'am, if you're, I don't know what, like, you don't know what you're gonna do. You know what you're gonna do because you're weird. At this point, it's getting weird. Like, you're not standing on what you're gonna try and do, And it's just like, are you gonna be flipping flopping back and forth? Is this really your game now? Like, say one thing, do another. It reminds me of the ginger and the vita banana.
which is where she's getting her game from. Hint, hint. Like she's not. She's. It don't look good on her. It's just not looking good on her. She's won, yes, but it's just a certain way that you go about things, and I feel like given if she didn't even know if it was somebody random and her and Kellyanne didn't really have a relationship like that, I could possibly see it because she really don't owe her anything in the end. But even though you're separating friend from game, don't go in somebody's face and say, I'm going to work with you and I'm on your side. That's where you lose me because it's like you're blatantly lying. And then you're getting mad when somebody gets mad that you're lying. Like, come on now.
Um, I'm gonna get to that later because she was really gaslighting Kellyanne, and I did
She
not like
did.
that.
She did. She did.
Um, and Sarah thought she was very leery on trusting any of the legends because she noticed they were being a little bit weird and off. Um, and Nelson had a conversation with John A as well. He said he would give John A some cues on who he would want to go against depending on what he sees in the elimination. His hair would be down if it was something he was want to go against Benha in. His hair would be up if it was something that he wanted to go against Tristan in. And John A took this like, yo, if he does this, it's no like no harm, no foul. Like I'm clear, but you're not clear, ma'am. Still, like,
We have footage of you making an agreement with somebody saying that he's going to do X and you should do Y. So it's not, oh, no harm, no foul, and they won't know. Clearly, they're going to show the footage and they're going to see after the fact. So you're still going to have to explain yourself. Like that whole, oh, no one will really know. Like, girl, please. She's just trying to make herself feel better and trying to excuse her behavior, which is like if you're gonna do something, stand on it. Like this whole game, she's just acting like she's mighty and she can do whatever she want and she could, like try to bark back on people, but it's like you're just lying at the end of the day. Like you're a liar.
yeah, I'm like, this is not looking great for you, John A. I'm like, every moment I see her on screen, I'm like, man, what are you about to say? 'Cause it sounds so bad.
Especially
It's
getting less.
yeah. She talks to Ben Ha about the nation, and she tells him that she doesn't know what to do. Oh wow, Kellyanne is also in the room, and she's listening to what is being said. And Kellyanne knows that Johnny is lying because she lied. She lied to her. Um, so it's not looking great.
Kelly and peep game. She peep game on her, by the way, braiding somebody else's hair who's like ambiguous, but okay. Because we seen her deal with her ex boyfriend on All Stars. Allegedly.
Allegedly.
I don't want to get sued. Allegedly. Uh but yeah, she's braiding his hair and Kellyanne is literally standing right there, but listening to her, but trying to read between the lines. And for Kellyanne to be on her P's and Q's with her in that time, I feel like she had an inkling that it can go either way still, even though they had a conversation already. So I'm glad that Kellyanne was aware and not just going in blinded, being like, oh, she said so and so. So it's gonna, like you just don't know.
Yeah. And we head into the arena. We have our undefeated winners of Janae and Grant, our losers, Nathan and Huhui, the House Noms, Tristan, Kellyanne, and Ben Hunt and Jody. Nathan immediately pulls his hair up, and that means that Tristan is his pick of who he wants to go against. And so Janae and Grant make their vote for Tristan and Kellyanne. And after they make that decision, Johnny is giving a light smirk towards Kellyanne, and Kellyanne clocked that. And then they showed footage of furniture and that woman talking in Johnny's ear about Kellyanne. and her remark about getting out the big strong people in the house. And I'm like, she's like, oh, that means you too. Hell no, it doesn't. That doesn't mean her too, because Kellyanne would not turn against John A.
It means anybody who is a threat to her game, essentially, which is what y'all all trying to do at the end of the game, at the end of the day. So I just did that whole conversation with whatever her name is and steroid rage. Like they were just really there to put the battery in Janae's back, but I feel like because she already was thinking about doing it, it wasn't really anything that can like convince her more to, say what she needed to say. But yeah, I just feel like that whole conversation, Sarah peeping the conversation. Sarah is real police, okay? She is going to get down to the bottom of what is happening. She's going to investigate. I can respect it. She is a detective, okay? She is peeping around the scene. It is the po out here. But she was really like clocking it, like, oh, I seen this person have a conversation and I seen Kelly and have like she's really on it. And which is good for her game because she needs to be. But Janae is just like doing whatever she wants, which is fine. But when you get called out after the fact, it's like I want to see how this plays out for her because everyone is seeing that you're gonna turn on somebody who you call your friend, and you're only on week 1 of you playing a game. So imagine by week 10 what you're gonna do to somebody.
Even like, because Amber said, like, because they were roommates and on the same team. Amber's like, if you do that to her, you gonna do that to me too, and I'm very, very. I'm like, why would that?
Exactly, Amber. Exactly.
Yeah, it's only week 1. We should not have this so much drama between friends in week 1. It was so simple because the plan was initially, hey, let's just weaken Argentina and put in Jody and Benha because already nothing and Hui were in elimination either way. One of them was gonna go home either way. So that would have been clean sweep. Only one more team left from Argentina. Cool. They were good. But no, John I just had to put in Kellyanne for whatever weird vendetta reason it was. And that wasn't
I,
the plan.
she's probably was just threatened by Kellyanne because she knew, even though Kellyanne hasn't finished recently, she's a threat to her and her game.
Yeah. But there's other people who are more of a threat than Kellyanne.
When you have a shot, sometimes you try to take it, but you just need to make sure you don't miss when you hit that target.
Yeah. You've seen that happen multiple times, and people have missed very bad.
I.e., today.
And so we get into the game. It is called Tether Brawl. Um, and as one team member hangs on a sling while their teammate swings them back and forth, they have to collect 8 building blocks to drop at their section. And once all are collected, the ground team member must form a tower with the blocks. If a block does fall in the center of the arena, it's free game for either team. The first to assemble their tower will win. And this was a struggle for Nelly T.
Okay, I really don't want to just like go in because he's dealing with things right now, and respect to him. But we're just talking about on screen what we just witnessed in the game. So Nelson doesn't understand physics, which I wouldn't expect him to. But literally, the fact that he could not control getting Huhui literally from put like you're on a swing, you're in a playground. You sit on a swing, somebody's behind you, they push you, you go wee, you go flying forward, momentum, you go back and forth, because that's just how it goes. He was just flinging this girl, stopping her midair. She's twirling around, and everyone's yelling at Nelson for him to figure it the fuck out, to hold it, to stop it, to and he's just listening to absolutely nothing. Like it's nothing going on up here. Like it's blank. And I like I said last week, I don't know. Nelson really just popped out there with the vibes. Like he did not come to play. I don't know really where his mind was at this whole season, clearly. And that was just embarrassing. Like, it's like, okay, maybe it's a one off, it's starting early. He'll get the hang of it. He never got the hang of it. He never got the hang of her. Like, it just was mind boggling.
It was so bad. He was like, "Oh shit, you heavy." Like, okay. Like he just couldn't get a grapple. You work out every freaking day. You handled pounds, or at least 100 pounds at times. You can't swing the girl back and forth around the thing. Like, it was so bad.
I don't even know if it was just the weight of it, of her, or just the fact that he really couldn't understand. Like, once you go backwards and you push her forward, she's going to continuously have momentum. Like, he just wouldn't let go of the hold on it. And that's where the problem was. Everyone is yelling at him to let it go, and he's just holding on, and he's holding on, and he's literally just holding. I'm like, bro, what are you doing right now? Mind you, on the other side, Kellyanne and Tristan eating it up. Tristan, one push, Kellyanne is flying like Peter Pan, like somebody said, flying in the air. She Tinkerbell. She getting it, she getting that, she getting that. She out there just doing whatever she's doing. And then once one of them falls, that's the opportunity that Nelson took to go into the middle, because it was a free fall, to get one of the plates that fell in the middle. But honestly, that's still 1-8. Like, you couldn't even get one on your own.
I have no words, and it's so bad. And I'm like, people are just calling me slow, and I was like, y'all, please, this is a grown
It's
man.
not giving fast, Megan. It's not giving fast. I'm just saying that. I'm not gonna say slow, but it's not giving fast either. Okay,
Yeah,
it's
I'm just glad. I'm just glad I released my stand card of him in the game, because he's a disappointment. But child, like, it was horrible. That was a bad way to go out in the first episode. Well, third episode technically, but first week, that was a
yeah,
bad
essentially,
performance.
because the showing in the daily challenge, you end up last, which is why you're in elimination, but they really couldn't get it together. Then you get to the elimination. You have a choice. This is the thing. It's not like he didn't have a choice who he wanted. He chose Tristan. He thought he could beat Tristan, and he thought wrong. And you end up losing terribly. So make sure you choose wisely next time.
Yeah, be careful what you wish for and what you choose. Because, hey, um, and like you said, meanwhile, Kelly and Tristan were going great with their momentum. They got all of their pieces. Tristan got building their tower. He completed it. They win this nation. And TJ said that he should not see Tristan and Kellyanne in animation again. And when he said that, Kellyanne pointed towards the crowd and like, see, I clocked y'all. See, y'all know me. I do well in these. Okay, so y'all better watch out. Like, she not want to be played
Yeah.
with.
Hopefully we don't see her back in there because she's lost. Probably we will if she gets voted in, just because people are going to be threatened by her at this point. But just her and Tristan need to just win out a daily challenge so they have the opportunity to be behind the scenes of them picking someone rather than being chosen.
Yeah. And after the elimination, they go back to the house. Grant was very shocked about Kelly's performance. She's like, "Yeah, that's why I'm a legend." Like, what you thought this was, Grant? What did you think? That she was just a
He
dummy?
was
Like,
listening to Janae, and he trusted Janae a little too much, and Janae probably assured him that he either she was going to lose or it was going to be Jody and Benha. And I'm sure that Johnny had chosen Kellyanne and Tristan before that they went into elimination, before Nelson even put up his hair or whatever. So it was easy for her to just choose them. But I feel like she was telling Grant, like, yeah, no, they're going to lose and we're going to get a strong player out of here, which that didn't happen. And so Grant's like, oh, I'm surprised. And he shouldn't have said that, because now that, gives people more of an eye, like, well, why would you even think that? So here we go back to John A just yapping her mouth around town about situations and people.
And both Kellyanne and Tristan are pissed. Kellyanne told Tristan that Johnny's behavior is very unhealthy. Um, and John A and Kellyanne have it out in the room. And Kellyanne is rightfully pissed at John A for lying to her and goes off on her, called John A evil. And John A tried to say that Kellyanne was talking to other people about their conversation they had on the line and saying other things. I'm like, babe, you the one that's going around town talking to people about Kellyanne. Kellyanne maybe want to be talking a lot when she gets anxious and things and should not be talking. But ma'am, we have you on tape talking to how many people about Kellyanne?
Right. So this is also where I feel like Sarah and her police skills were coming into play about what was happening, because she saw Kellyanne and John A talking. So I'm pretty sure Kellyanne didn't go around saying she had a conversation with John A, all is well, blah blah blah. Like Sarah's probably the one who was like purporting like, yo, I seen Kellyanne and John A, hash it out. I'm sure they're getting back cool, and Kellyanne's probably not going to go into elimination. That's probably what she thought, because she saw them talking together, hugging it out, and piecing it up. So it was really Sarah, which I don't mind, but Janae throwing that back in her face, in Kellyanne's face, and saying that it was her, and she heard, so like, you didn't hear shit, miss. Like, stop it. She's like, I heard you saying this. She don't have no names. She don't have no receipts. She can't back it up. And she yet is the one going around having conversations with multiple people about putting in Kellyanne after the fact. She told Kellyanne she was not voting her in. John A is sick in the head. I'm convinced. Like, she really is trying to play this game to be conniving, to be slick, and it's just not making her look good.
It's a messy game, messy, and you can't. If you want to be conniving, you have to be on your p's and q's. China is not that.
No.
Because we know, like,
She
whenever we see Wes, like, have his little plans, and he, like, right now, he's, like, trying to, like, be very, like,
Switzerland. Like, who are we
yes,
voting for? We're voting for both. It's like, okay, at some point you're gonna pick a side.
yeah. But it's just like, ma'am, you, whatever you want to do, it's just you gotta nip things in the bud quick and not talk to anybody about it. Everybody about it. Because we know Kellyanne was about to go off on her. She was about to go off. But Tristan had to calm it down.
And Tristan could barely calm her down, because he said, calm down. She's like, I am calm. He's like, well, we'll try harder. Like, he couldn't even get her to be calm, because Kellyanne was really about to go off, and I would have been completely here for it. But I'm glad she didn't, because it is super early, and I feel like she's going to have a disadvantage if she does not win the next challenge or the next couple of challenges, and she doesn't place well. She's probably going to keep having to go in, because people are going to be like, yo, this lady is crazy. We got to get out the house.
Yeah. With that, that was an episode. Kellyanne didn't go off on her as much, but I was glad she got her point across and she tried to stand her own. Um,
Enough. That was my favorite part of the fight. Kelly and look, I said, enough.
she was over like you. She was like, you
I
are
was
not about to
over it.
gaslight me. You are not about to
Yeah.
gaslight me.
She said, I am not one of your children. Please stop talking to me.
Cause child late. We're gonna get into the tweets from this episode. Um, I'm gonna start off with this one. Listen, I love Nelly, but could he not hear them, or is he just a little slow?
We've answered this, and I don't
Yes.
want to pile on him because Nelson is going through it right now. Nelson was in an accident, a very bad accident,
Yes.
and he's now healing and recovering, and speedy recovery to him. I hope he gets well soon. Do not come back on the show anytime soon. Do not rush your recovery to come back on the show. Please take your time and heal, please. But yeah, Nelson is not the brightest crayon. We already know this, and the opposite of fast is whatever Nelson may or may not be. I'm not gonna say it, but
Yeah.
okay.
Condolences. Well, not condolences. That's a wrong word. But prayers for sweet recovery.
Prayers of
I'm
thoughts.
sorry.
Prayers of thoughts. I did not mean to laugh at this. This is not funny. But prayers and
I
thoughts for
know. I'm
Nelson.
sorry. I'm so sorry. But also, please donate to his GoFundMe. There is a GoFundMe that's out there
Yeah.
that people have started for his recovery and insurance and all that, just him getting better.
Please,
Yeah,
MTV, Paramount, a benefits package will be nice. You know, these people have put their whole lives on to the show for your entertainment, for for you to get money, essentially. And a cool little 401k, a cool little health insurance is not going to hurt your pockets. So Paramount needs to do better. MTV, whoever is running the behind the scenes of how these people are getting paid and their payroll, please have a benefits package for these people.
yeah. Next tweet. Oh, John A. gaslighting Kellyanne. This is nasty break. And the accompanying photo is Auntie Tab and her glasses, like
It is. It
because
was very nasty. John A deserves a nasty award. It was not anything nice to see how John A was moving this episode. It was really
but
crazy.
I feel like she was not only gaslighting Kellyanne, but she was gaslighting us as the audience because we know what she did.
We know what you did.
The next tweet, Kellyanne do not be beating the crazy Gemini allegations.
Listen, it both sides peaked out. Now, I'm not really a crazy science person like that, but I do believe when somebody says they're a Gemini, I'm like, oh, let's hold on there. Let's see which face we're getting today. And Kellyanne definitely showed the other side, but it was all in good purpose. It was all in good right. It wasn't out of left field or unnecessary.
Yes. What I've been back a lot. Oh, also really quick, Kellyanne snapped at Davon and Anissa on the Challenge podcast.
I did hear that. Are you gonna let me finish? Like, whoa, whoa. Again, the two sides just jumping out.
Because someone was like, "Oh, gee, Kellyanne snapped at Davon and Anissa. It caught me off guard." And Davon saw the tweet and quote tweeted and said, "This is why we need visuals. It was definitely a wait a damn minute moment. LOL, had to remember out of that work. I'm glad she got it all out though. And to be clear, Fran is extremely long winded, so it came to a point where some responses had to be interrupted." So,
Davon did her job. She heard what the person was saying, and she stopped. And she said, "Okay," and she let her go. Which, cool.
yeah. So, good thing on that. Okay, the actual last tweet, because I have to get that moment, because that was Kelly, a classic Kellyanne moment. And we didn't even see it.
She was crazy. She was bugging out.
The last tweet, Shouldn't Johnny know that showing the entire house that you're willing to betray your close friend at first chance is not the best strategy? Now, no one will feel bad throwing Johnny under the bus because
Exactly. Exactly. So,
yes.
Johnny, watch your back because I feel like people are going to take note to what you did, even though she feels like she is probably Bananas and Wes and all these other people that are there. Like, you and Grant need to keep winning because as sooner or later, Tori and Casey want to get you out. Like, don't care what they say, whatever conversations that they're having, but they're wanting to get her out. Yes, Megan.
Oh, I saw a tweet when I was clicking off of someone's account. Um, Tori was also targeting Kellyanne. So that's why we there the but we saw the clip of Tori talking to Casey too. They edited some things out, but people really didn't want Kellyanne out. But Tori, watch your back, cause you going to be flashing on this show too. So watch your back. That's it.
Girl. Anyway, thank you guys for listening to this episode. If you would like to follow us on Twitter, you can. You can follow our Twitter page at Duel Pod. You can follow Megan at Megan Hines. You can follow myself at ace_s5. You can watch us on YouTube at Duel Podcast. And we'll be back next week to talk more of the Challenge World Championship. See you guys and enjoy your week. Bye.
Bye. Happy St. Patrick's Day.
We're not